That's the outside temp. 53 degrees with a wind chill factor of like -26. It's a little overcast. They're calling for rain. Wet. So hopefully it'll stay dry enough today that I can get the Suburban back on its wheels. So my goal for today is to get this thing on its own feet, standing on all four of its own feet. Let me show you what parts I've accumulated for this build. Good old Rock Auto. Let me put you guys on a tripod and we'll start opening up some boxes. So these first two big boxes are new rotors and hubs. Yep, my other ones were worn to the point where they needed to be turned, and I'm not a big fan of turning rotors because you're basically reducing your brake's abilities to burn off heat by thinning out the material. So I bought new ones. I think I talked about that in a previous video, my feeling on turning rotors, but let's start opening some boxes. So here's everything I've obtained to do the front end and a brake job. Like I said, I've got rotors. Ooh, easy. Those rotors are made by Bendix. I got motor, what do I have here? I think these are semi-metallics. I didn't go ceramic. Semi-metallic brake pads. Those look right. These should be the soft hydraulic lines. Also made by Bendix. Yeah, looks about right. Hopefully. We have a right and left. Yep. Boy, it's a little chilly out here right now. These should be ball joints. Oh yes. Awesome. Looks like that's about right. These should be the bearing seals, inner seals. Yep, the back side of the rotors. Timken and National. What is this? Should be another seal too, right? Oh, that's the spindle bearings. Goes on the spindle hub and seals. Nice. Inner and outer wheel bearings and races. And then this is money right here. I'll show you guys how this so clearly is superior to the stock caster camber adjustment system on these Chevys. They give you the, oh well, anyway, I'll show it to you. This is a caster camber bushing kit for these corporate 10-bolt solid axles, and that's money right there. They're made by Moog K936 is the part number for a threaded bushing kit that helps you do infinite adjustments in your caster and camber for these solid axles, way better than the shims that you put behind these spindle hubs. So this is not going to really be a how-to video because, as I've mentioned before, when I start packing these bearings in grease, these wheel bearings in grease, and hammering stuff together, it's really not. I need to get this done today. It's Saturday morning, and I've got Tech Week coming up, so tomorrow I'll be at the theater all day, and I need to get this axle put back together this week so I can drop this car off at the alignment shop, this truck off at the alignment shop on Monday or so. So I'll be right back. So here's what I was referring to. I have the upper and lower ball joint installed in this assembly here, and instead of using this is what it originally comes with. The upper ball joint comes with this threaded insert, and when you stick the upper ball joint in through the axle here, you run this down the top of the axle, and then you tighten this. There's a special tool, which I don't own the special tool, but I made one to pull this all apart, but it's a 4-prong spanner, and you tighten that down to about 50 pounds per square inch, and that's what holds the upper ball joint in position, but it holds it in a fixed position. So the the way you would do a, and I always get these mixed up, the way you do a camber adjustment on this is you use shims like this. And you'll see this is a wedged shim. It's about, oh, I don't know, 32nd of an inch on this side. And then here you're just a little more than a 16th of an inch. And basically what you do is you stick this over like that, over these little 6 bolts, and then you take your spindle hub, stick it like that. Okay, and then the alignment guy will put it on then you've got to tighten everything down. You put it on your machine and you go, oh yeah, boy, phew, I need a little more camber. See, I get that mixed up. I need more camber. So then you have to completely disassemble everything. You mark where this is, you take it off and say, okay, more camber would be rotate it counterclockwise, let's say. I don't know if that's true, but let's just make that an example. And it basically changes the position of this, where you can take your spindle hub and you can do minor adjustments. But it's a pain in the neck. Well, not for me, but for the alignment guy. A pain in the neck to take this all apart every time to do what are pretty limited. Quite honestly, your clocking positions are pretty limited to the holes that are drilled into this plate. And so, let me get that off real quick. Hold on a sec. So I figured, common sense wise, and I'm far from an expert on these corporate 10 bolts, but let me make sure I got you in the full frame. I kind of do. What these kits do is when you slide the upper ball joint in here into the axle, you don't put, what do I do with it now? You don't put this sleeve in here. You put the Moog sleeve, and it gives you this, a smaller sleeve, and then it gives you this wedged top bushing here. So now the Moog kit, this is what I think is cool, and this kind of makes common sense to me, is when you have this thing on an alignment rack and your wheels on it and everything's on it and your alignment device is attached here, you pull the cotter pin and the upper castle nut to the upper ball joint. You take your 1 9/16 socket on a breaker bar, you go back in there, and you have infinite adjustment on not only your camber, right? Camber takes your wheel and it changes your wheel's angle this way, okay? But this also allows you to adjust your caster. And caster, if you figure a vertical line like this will slide the upper ball joint forward, which will give you caster. And if you think of a caster on like a wheel for an office chair or something, right? It's kind of back swept because it gives that wheel stability to be able to ride straight. Me personally, on these front axles, I want more positive caster. I want my camber to be about flat because I don't have control arms. I want the tires to be on the ground. I want a nice patch of tire on the ground at all times. But the caster, I want the front ball joint that way more, so it makes this front end more stable. So you take your breaker bar and you stick it on here and just watch the movement. Actually, yeah, I was gonna say let's wait for the airplane to go by, but I'm not talking. So without moving the thing, see, that moves the caster back that way, or the upper, right, gives you negative caster because it's moving the upper ball joint back that way. It gives you a whole range of motion, and it's an infinite range of motion because you just move this, and it also is adjusting in the camber as well. Yeah, camber. I'm always screwed up about that. Can you see how much that moves? A lot of movement, which is cool. I think it's cool. You get it where you want it, and then you hold this nut in place with a wrench, and you come in and you drive the castle nut down, stick a pin in it, and then that's where you'll be. So let me keep on keeping on, and yeah, see how we go. Well, that's a promising sign. Threw a fresh coat of paint on the rims. I found a medium charcoal metallic. It's different than the body, but it's close. I never was a big fan of this. This is a Rust-Oleum machine gray that I painted several years ago, and I couldn't find the right gray. I don't even know that this is the right gray, but thought I'd give it a shot. I had everything out, so I wire wheeled the wheels, the rims, and did a quick spray bobby on that one. And I'll put all the chrome rings and stuff after I get it back from the alignment shop. They have to pull the chrome rings off anyway, so that gives me a chance to really clean them up nice. So enough talking, let's take this thing for a ride, see how she does. All I'm really going to do is go to the end of the block and back. I'm not quite sure what I hope to accomplish by this, other than make sure the wheels don't fall off this truck. I know the caster's off, I know the camber's off. I tried getting the camber as close as I could with the level. I put a level on the tire, but you know, it is what it is. I just hope the tires don't fall off. I think that's really all I'm trying to accomplish here. And stop, of course. Alright, make sure I don't hit anybody. Hold on a sec here. Let me get around the parked cars. My parked cars. Steering wheel's a little off. She brakes pretty straight, actually. Well, there you go. It starts, it stops. The wheels didn't fall off. I think I'm kind of digging this new paint. Huh. I like it a lot better than this Rust-Oleum gray. Very boring. It's flat. Or not flat, but it's not metallic. Kind of digging this metallic. Anyway, here in the next few days or so, I'll get the back tires torn off this thing, take a look at the brakes and drums and hardware back there, scrub up and paint those back wheels, and should be all ready for the alignment shop. Digging it, digging it. At least the wheels didn't fall off. There you go. Thanks for watching. See ya.